back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, you are very much welcome. My name is Madison and I am coming to you from a very windy Glasgow. I'm just outside Glasgow, and because we are now into July, I thought it'd be a good idea to do a sort of mid-year WIP check or WIP check-in. At the beginning of every year or the end of every year, I do a WIP audit. So I write a list of all the WIPs that are currently in progress, and then the aim is that I would try and work my way through that list and try and reduce it each year. But obviously I add new projects to it as we go along as well, so it's sort of like a balancing act throughout the year. But I thought it'd be good to just check in and see what I have managed to take off of that list, whether it be frogged or finished, what I'm actually making progress on still, what hasn't had any work done at all, which is quite a few, and also talk about some of the new projects that I've added to this list as well, and kind of show some of them off as to where they're at. Yeah, that's where we're going to go. So at the very beginning of 2025, I started the year with 22 WIPs. So projects that were in progress. I think the only one that's not on here is the, yeah, it's not on my list, which was my Advent from Toft, because I think I finished it just, no, it's not, it didn't reach 2025 at all, because it's not on my finished list either for January. So I started the year with 22 WIPs in progress, something that has started and has a bit of work in it, and I've been trying to finish some of them. So the first thing I did, actually let's just go through the list from top to bottom. We'll try it that way. So temperature blanket, not touched. Sophie's Universe, not touched. Pokemon blanket, not touched. The Granny Squares though, which I thought was chunky, is actually Aaron. So that's my Karen X Pantone squares. I have put so much work into this, and then I bought yarn to edge all of the squares and get it joined together, and then I used the same yarn in a different project and had to rip some of it back because I was then running out of yarn for the other one, and that colour has been discontinued. So a friend of mine, P, has given me some more Aran that I can use to join it up, which is in a cream colour. I was originally using an off-white, so it's more white than cream. Anyway, that colourway has been discontinued. So I've also acquired some more of the Karen X Pantone, which is also a discontinued yarn, and I have changed how I'm going to put it together. So because I now have enough yarn to do some smaller squares and create a border, that's what I need to get on with. So the ones that I currently have are quite big squares. I think I'm at a stage where I can now join them all together. So I just need to border those that I had to rip out, and I can get the main part of the blanket joined together, and then I need to work on the squares to go around the outside. I'm hoping I'll have put some pictures up explaining what I'm on about. But yeah, so that's the plan for that one. It's had work done, it's just not quite finished. I did want to get it finished quite early on in the year, but then when I realised I was running out of yarn and it'd been discontinued, it kind of got put on the back burner whilst I worked on something else. So that's where we're at with that one. My Tunisian crochet runner has had no work. My Mrs. Hippo African Flowers has also had no work, but I don't think I'm going to be making a hippo with it anymore. I need to dig out the flowers that I have and see how many I have, and then I might just do something different with them, but I guess we'll see at some point. I'm not sure I'll get to that this year, but we'll see. Between the Lines shawl, now I haven't done any work on this, but I have finished a few shawls, so I did dig it out because that's going to be the next shawl that I work on. And I thought I didn't know where I was, in the pattern, but it looks like I've marked it on the actual pattern itself as to where I am. So it's not very big at the moment, is it? So that's where it's at the moment. I've got an arrow like post-it pointing to a row, so I need to double check that that's the correct one, but it uses a 3mm. Let's double check. I'm sure it uses a 3mm crochet hook. Now I was using my tulip pink Etimo hook for this, and I do not know where that hook has gone. It could be absolutely anywhere in this room. But I don't know where it is. It could be in another project and I just don't know. But I don't like to mix my hooks, so I need to get another hook for this project. I need to buy another Etimo tulip hook. So that's on my list of things to do, and then I can get back to working on that, because it's a very large shawl and it uses 2 Shepier's whirls, which are huge, so it's going to take me some time. So I wanted to get that back on the hook and get some more progress done on it. So that one has come out of the cupboard, out of the drawer. That will get some work on. I just need to get a new crochet hook. Right, next up then is the Garter Squish sweater, which I was hoping to do as a test knit when the pattern was being tested, and I did sign up for it and I did start it, but I just couldn't get the neck to look right, and then my increases were wrong, and it was a mess. And it was the first knitted garment I'd tried to make, so I thought maybe it was a beginner pattern so that I could attempt it as a beginner knitter, but no. So I actually ripped that back in January. I frogged it because yes, I want it, but what I had was solid colours and it was mostly grey and boring. And as we know from a lot of the things that I make and a lot of the things that I wear, other than the fact this is a grey t-shirt, but I don't necessarily do dark grey black clothing. I like colour, so it wasn't giving me any dopamine as such, so I just frogged it. I thought I will come back to that at a later date. The next one on my list is the Granny Square blanket in the Cherished DK yarn. I am looking at it because it's behind the camera. I finished it, so I'll pop up a picture of that finished. I finished that one in April, so I'm very happy with that. It's just a big granny square, 2 rounds per colour, and then I did a scallop border as well. And it was my comfort project, which is one of those ones where it was so easy to work on that I could just sit and pick it up whenever I needed to. So that one is finished. I kind of need another easy project to work on though. Right, next up on my list is the My Favourite Thing, the scarf, which was supposed to be the My Favourite Thing, the blanket, which is a stranded crochet project based on Christmas. And I changed it into a scarf because I was like, I'm not going to end up making this as a blanket. I have not touched it. I still have about this much. Yeah, so maybe I'll bring that back out towards Christmas time and that'll be my Christmas project. Maybe. Next up is the Granny Rocks jumper. I have frogged it because, again, I wasn't enjoying it, and it was another grey jumper. What was I doing? You know, I started that a couple of years ago now. Yeah, 2024. No, 2023. I started that jumper and it was grey and stripy and I just was not enjoying it, so it got frogged. Then we have the Zuri Tunisian blanket. I've been going backwards and forwards with this one because I didn't have enough yarn to finish a square, and I have been trying to get some more of that yarn because it's another discontinued yarn, and can't seem to find that colour anywhere. It's Deramore's Studio Special DK, and it was the last yarn they brought up before they closed, so I'm struggling to find that particular colour. I have got some other colours that I've now found, so the plan is to leave that square because I have like this much left. I have like 4 rows left on it, and I don't know if even pulling it all the way back to the beginning will get me those 4 rows, so because they're quite treble heavy. It's Mosaic Tunisian, but I'm going to leave that square and move on to the next square and use the other colours that I have. I don't know if I'm going to get to that one this year, although I did use my spinner the other day, my Decisions app, and it said that that would be the next blanket project for me to work on. So at the moment I'm working on the On the Seashore blanket, and then I'll get to the Tunisian one. So once the Seashore one's done, maybe I'll move on to that one, because it's modular. I can do each square. I could do a square a day, so it's not an overly taxing project. I just need to actually do it. So that's the Zuri blanket. The next one on the list is the On the Seashore blanket. So that one I currently have here. I am over halfway. So I finished section 2, and I've now added the seahorses, which was an additional pattern you could purchase to incorporate. So section 1 is the blue with the shells. Section 2 is these shells. I have altered it a little bit and added a puff row, a few rows there, to just divide up the sections. Then I added the seahorses, and I'm into the next shell section. So it is there we go. It's getting quite big. It feels amazing though. I love this yarn. So once I have finished a project that I'm currently working on, I can get back to finishing this one off, and then that'll be another one off my list. And I've also included this one on my bingo board as well this year, which is being run by Helen of Giddy Yarns. It's the crafting bingo challenge, and basically you pick 9 things that you are going to work on throughout the year, and that is on that list. So that needs to get some work and be ticked off of that list. Next up is my Tunisian Mitred Squares. Now it lives in my little grey girl bag with the Tunisian crochet runner. I think I've put some squares into this year because I now have 12. And I think my aim is just to create another row, see how big it is, and whether I can make that up into a little cushion maybe. Or I might need to do another 2 sides to make it a bit bigger. I'm basically just trying to use up the yarn that I have. So that's my aim anyway. Well, I'll keep going until I use up all the yarn, and then that one will be ticked off my list as well. And I will just make a plain back for it. Still in Tunisian crochet, I think, though, because then it's all the same. Yeah, I thought I'd quickly show that one. The next one is the candy pullover. I've not done anything on it. I know exactly where it is. It's in this pink box there. And yeah, I've not done anything to it, and I think once I've got a couple of my bigger projects out the way, I will move on to that, because I don't have any garments on the go at the moment, even though I plan to start one in July that is knitted. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, I have Aria the pink-headed warbler. I finished that in January. The Gingerbread Cow, I finished that in February. The Dragon Keeper gloves, I finished those in January. And we also had a Frog Wizard, which was a Crochet Society pattern. I finished that in February. We have a Gingerbread Man. Now, I made another arm for the Gingerbread Man the other day, and when I put them both together, they're both different sizes. So I think I'm going to have to frog it and start again. So I'm going to double check how big they are. I think it's just that my tension's different between the two of them, so I'm going to need to rip them out. But I mean, they're so small, I might just bin them and start again. So we'll consider the gingerbread man frogged as soon as I do that. Then we have Oh the Teapot. I did finish Oh the Teapot. I finished that in January. That is a gift for a friend of mine. And the last thing on here, which should have been earlier up in the list, and I forgot to write it earlier in the list, is my gingerbread socks. Now I have those here as well. They are in here. I have done the section that I wanted to do this year, which was the hill. That was on my bingo board for this year, was to complete the hill. So I've done that. So that's the top. This is the hill. So I've done a hill, flap and turn. I've done the gusset decreases. I need to change the needle because this is currently on magic loop. I recently bought some, where have I put them? Some little knitting needles. Yeah. So I'm going to pop those onto these, and then I will be able to just go round and round and round because I'm on the stockinette bit again. And then I can transfer it back to magic loop to do the toe. So that's at the point now where I've done all the decreases and I just need to go round and round for the foot. So I need to put some stitch markers in to mark where I've started. Put this on, and then that will be my sort of easy project for the evening, so I don't have to think about it. I can just go round and round and round. So that is staying out as well. Getting some work done on it, and that is the last of what I started the year with. So I started with 22. I have frogged 2 and I'm going to frog another one, and I have finished 6. So that's not too bad. So out of my 22, there's 9 projects I've removed off of that list. So I'm down to 13. Or am I? So I wanted to go through some of the projects that I have started this year and I am currently working on as well. First up is the Granny Square card challenge, my weekly Granny Square challenge. I am working my way through that. I'm on square 20. There are 50 squares and the idea was that I do all 50 within the year. Now I know I'm behind because technically I should be at number 25 if I'm going to finish before the end of the year. And I'm not, I'm at 20. So that's one project I've added to my list. The next project is my Litmus Cow. That is a new one that I started in March. This has been my easy knitting because it's just round and round stockinette, which is why I need to sort out the socks. Because I have run out of yarn for this one. I need more of my background colour, my main colour. So that needs more yarn, and then I can get back to working on that, and then that will be finished because I literally need 10 grams of the main colour to finish it off, and that is it. So that is awaiting some more tweed 4-ply. I also have a hat somewhere. I don't know where I've put the hat. I started the Pandemonium Hat, but I don't know what I've done with it. Right, it was in one of my drawers, one of my cubbies. So I've dug it out. It was right at the bottom as well, so I've obviously tried to tidy up at some point. This is the Pandemonium Hat. I have started on the rib. That is where we're at. I attended a knitting in the round workshop and got that started, and then did a few more rounds at home. But it is 2x2 rib for the brim. So I could really take that downstairs as my easy knitting at the moment. Once I've got past the brim, I've then got colour work to do. I mean, I've got a few rounds without colour work, so yeah, I might take that downstairs and get that working on. I am using Starcraft Special DK for that because I thought that would be easier to get started. So I could take that one downstairs as well, and then that's both of my retreat bags out and in use. the last one on this list is my Crystal Advent project. Now this is a pattern I'm designing. I have already completed, so I'm using a 10 gram 24-day advent from Siobhan's Crafts. I have 6 that are blocked and I have 4 more here, that way around. So we're getting there. I'm almost halfway with this. So I'm going to get 2 more onto here, and then when this is blocking I will weave in the ends and add some details to the other one, because I now have some yarn to do the details. So this will be progressing quite nicely. I have the next colour wound up and ready to go. So once I've got another 6 done, that's the plan there. That's getting a lot of work because I pretty much spent all of June, most of June, working on this project. So that is that. And I thought I would show you a couple more that are not on my list, purely because they were meant to be quick finishes. So I have Yuto, the Japanese flycatcher from Toft. I have now caked up the main colour, so that is ready to go, but I currently only have a body and a leg. So I need to make another leg and then go back to working on the rest of it. So I could now do the wings and the tail feathers because I've balled up the purple. That is a Birds Club project, so I kind of need to get that finished. That shouldn't take me too much longer now that I've done that. I've balled up the colour. So that's ready to go as well. And I had also started a small mushroom guy as well back in June, and I had a head. So he should also be a very quick make as well. And throughout July my aim is to finish him, and I've got 2 gnomes that I need to make in July as well. But I thought I would just show you the things that were started prior to July. So from my 22 list I knocked it down to 13, or it will be down to 13 once I find the gingerbread man, which is downstairs, and I can just bin the 2 odd arms that I have. I have then added the Granny Squares challenge, which brings us to 14, Litmus Cow 15, Pandemonium Hat 16, Crystal Advent project 17. I have my mini mushroom guy, was that 18? And Yuto the Japanese flycatcher. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 projects on top of the 13, so I'm up to 19 again. I'm hoping that 2 of those will be finished soon. So I thought I would also just quickly go through or let you know the numbers of what I have actually achieved this year. So my WIP list is currently up to 19 from 22. So it's under 20. That's good. Don't start any more projects until I finish one. Yeah. Even though I plan to start a jumper or a t-shirt. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm up to 19. However, I have finished 8 projects in January, 7 projects in February, 3 projects in March, 5 in April, 6 in May, and 1 in June. July and August are usually the months where I finish lots of things because I used to work in a school and therefore summer holidays. I no longer work in a school though, I work in private care. Yeah, so I'm not sure I'm going to get the same amount of finishes that I normally do. My aim for the year is to do 50. To finish 50 things and reduce my previous WIP list by half. So of the 22, I need to remove 11. I have removed 9, so there's 2 more I need to get off of the list. So that includes this. So the seashore blanket will be off. That will be done. And I might be able to get the Tunisian Mitred Squares off as well. So we'll see how that goes. So that will reduce that original list by half. And yeah, so I have actually finished 29 projects this year. So that's not bad going, really. Quite pleased with that. And I think, yeah, I think I'm doing all right. So that's my mid-year check-in for my WIPs. How are you ordering with your WIP lists? Are you knocking them out or are you adding to them? And what has been your favourite, I think, from the year? Yeah, let me know in the comments how you're doing with your WIP lists and what you're achieving this year as well, because it's really nice to see what everyone's up to, and I like to get ideas as well of what to cast on next. So do let me know in the comments how you are doing this year with your WIPs and your finishes, because I'd love to know. I'm just a bit nosy. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope this was interesting for you, and if you have enjoyed this content, then please do like and subscribe, and you'll be able to get notifications of when I add new videos to the channel. I have started to add a schedule now to the community tab, so it gives you an idea of what's coming for the month, even though some of these videos will be just dropped in every now and then because I feel like it. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Take care. Bye.